Hey everyone, Darren here, aka Irish Latino Reacts, Irish on the bottom, Latin American on top, and today we are watching Season 1, Episode 3 of Firefly. So let's start by talking about the quote-unquote exposition from last episode. Sorry, Frankie, sorry, not right now. Daddy's working. So, last episode, being the first that was ever actually released, it felt like it needed this exposition, just like any first episode of a series would. So we start with about 30 seconds of pure exposition by Book. He's talking about the setting, talking about the crew, talking about the general philosophy of this solar system, this Western cutthroat place that we are in. And being someone who just watched the actual first episode, the hour and 20-minute long first episode, I felt like these 30 seconds slotted in very, very nicely. I mean, because actual episode one, is so long, by the end of it, certain facts of the setting and the world may be forgotten by the casual fan. So I felt like this episode 2 really started out with a nice refresher. I didn't feel like it was over the top, and I didn't have the reaction like, oh, okay, I know this already, like move on, move on. Now, since that was pure narration, I figured it was these 30 seconds that people were referring to as far as accusing episode 2 of being overly expositional. Now, a certain commenter did turn me on to other aspects and areas of last episode that could also be looked at as overly expositional. We have Simon explaining their situation to River. They're on a ship. They can't go home. They're safe for now. Then you got Kaylee and Jane talking about the siblings, with Rivers overhearing in the rafters. Jane is planting the idea that Mal is planning on turning River in eventually. Then you have the Book and Inara conversation. Now, I'll be honest though, none of these scenes on a first-time watch, none of these scenes threw up red flags like, oh, exposition, this is happening because this episode was released first. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm making this point to be extremely complimentary to episode 2. I thought it made sense for Simon to have to explain or re-explain their situation to River. She's obviously suffering extremely mentally, so it seems natural that Simon would think he might have to repeat a thing or two. And as far as Jane accusing Mal of having nefarious plans for River, that also seems supernatural to come up in episode 2 based on what we know about Jane and Mal's relationship so far. And nothing in the Book and Inara conversation seemed overly expositional either. As an aside, my favorite line of last episode easily was when Inara told Book that she prays for Mal but doesn't tell him. But anyways, really the only thing that kind of stood out to me about last episode was Book when he was talking to Mal about River and Simon. He just kept following Mal through the halls, talking about them. And yet even that didn't make me go, oh, this is what people are talking about. It just, and you saw my reaction, it just made me feel like Book was being really nosy. And maybe that's out of character for him going forward. So thus one could go back and watch those scenes and see them for what they are, planted exposition. But regardless of all that, I still felt the Mal and Book conversation ended beautifully from a dialogue standpoint. So, in conclusion of all this, if episode 2 was catered to be an episode 1, which I guess it was, I'd argue they did a poor job. It was a great episode 2, and even in my last reaction, I said I thought it would make a poor episode 1, and I'm sorry that for a lot of you, it might have been. All right, me calling Zoe Zoe. I feel like I'm missing something here, guys. Like any reactor who's ever existed, I've gotten names wrong in the past. I've gotten pronunciations wrong in the past. And I will continue to do so. But this? Like, isn't it universally accepted that Zoe is short for Zoe? Or am I literally missing something about the show? I cannot believe how many commenters corrected me on this. Like, tell me if I'm being dumb. I know her full name's Zoe. I just want to call her Zoe so there's less video to edit. Finally, in last outro, I gave 2 reasons as to why I highly doubted that, despite Jane's musings, Mal had an ulterior motive for keeping Simon and River on board, specifically to turn River in for a giant payday. A commenter turned me on to a 3rd reason, one that's so seemingly obvious that I didn't perceive it. Doesn't Mal fucking hate the Alliance? Why would he ever give them anything that they want? I'd like to thank all of my Patreon supporters for always supporting me. If you'd like to join them, there is a link down in the description below where you can gain access to full-length reactions early. There's also a dirt cheap $1 a month option, which is there just for the sake of supporting me. If you are watching this on YouTube and you are not yet subscribed, please really consider doing so. If you like my style and you want me to keep doing what I'm doing, that's a great way to do it. I know all channels say that it's a good way to support, but it's so much more true for small channels like mine. Also, please leave a like and leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought of this episode and this video. So, without further ado, let's get into Season 1, Episode 3 of Firefly.
After the Earth was used up, we found a new solar system and hundreds of
so the
new
exposition again.
And colonized.
Same thing, I'm sure. If this is going to happen every episode, maybe I'll form a different opinion on it, but still, it's fine. Like, once again, 30 seconds. Maybe I'll time it. Oh. I heard you were missed, Frankie. All right. Serenity. Ooh, nice. Sports. Ooh, ring ball. I'm sure that probably has another. Ooh, even Book's getting into it. I'm sure that has another name, but I'm gonna call it ring ball for now. Come on, Honora, want to join?
How's your sister?
She's good. Better. She has her days. And she still won't talk about what it was that they did to her at the academy.
Give him a little treat.
Not sure herself.
Nice, swish.
She dreams about it. I know that much. I don't know if I'll be able to help her here, and I need to help her.
Simon, you are. Leaving your whole world behind? It's incredibly selfless.
That's not what he meant, though.
They selflessly turned us both into wanted fugitives.
Proximity alert.
Uh-oh.
Must be coming up on something.
Oh my God.
What's the...
What can it be? We're all doomed. Who's flying this thing? Oh, right, that would be me.
Look at Wash's pants. So I wonder, what is the proximity that sets off that alarm? All right, Wash, what do we see? Oh! Oh! That shook the whole ship? That looks like a body.
Or something? Near enough.
What happened?
Anybody home? Inhaling her, but if whoever's there is as healthy as the guy we just ran over, can't imagine anybody's gonna be picking up.
What is it?
Does River have a bad feeling?
It's a ghost.
Take my love, take my land.
I have to admit, not my favorite song ever. I mean, they say the word serenity at the end, so did they feel that obliged to use this song? This intro, more than anything, maybe dates the show or like slots it into where it is in time.
So, what do we figure? Transport ship?
Converted cargo hauler. Maybe a short-range scow.
Port thrust's gone, and that's what's making her spin the way she is.
A short-range vessel this far out into space?
Retrofitted to carry passengers. Cram 15, maybe 20 families on a boat that size. You pack them in tight enough.
Families?
If there's folks on board in need of help, why aren't they beaming no distress call?
It's true. There's no beacon.
Which means it's likely no one's looking to find her.
All the more reason for us to do the right thing.
How's about you just say a prayer when we slide on by?
Shall I remind you of the story of the Good Samaritan?
I'd rather you didn't. But we'll check it out. Could be survivors. And if not, well then, no one's gonna mind if we take a look around, see if there's not something of value they might have left behind.
Finders keepers.
Yeah, no, someone could be hurt.
Shane. Yeah, these graphics look fine for 2002. Oh yeah, even that, I don't mind at all. I wouldn't even use the word dated. I really wouldn't.
Where do you think you're headed?
Thought I'd offer my services
In case people
in
are
case
hurt.
anyone on board required medical attention.
Yeah.
Well, Cap and Zoe are going in first. We'll holler if we need you.
Isn't there a joke about the show that it seems like their technology, it does seem like they shot to this solar system from like 1950? People make jokes like that about Battlestar too. Like in Battlestar, they still shave with normal razors. Oh, is this suddenly become a horror show with Pennywise the Clown? That red balloon?
Whatever happened here happened quick.
Big Stephen King fan. Did happen quick. All the food's just left there.
Everything was left on. Ship powered down on its own. They're just
Gone.
Yeah, no one's home. Did they all get spaced? Was the ship vented? Guess is my next question. I feel so bad for River. I can't wait for her to have more dialogue and more substance, not just like speaking in code and whatnot. I hope we get that.
Can't sleep. It's too much screaming.
I don't know if we will.
Hey, grab your med kit. Let's hoof it. Mal wants us both over there on a double.
They found survivors?
Didn't say. Still gotta get suited up.
Has Simon ever gotten suited up? Kind of feel like he hasn't. His helmet kind of looks crooked, or maybe he's just turning his head. I'm enjoying this immensely. Him, being over here, out of his elements. There you go. Yeah. Straighten that shit out. Be careful of the red balloon. Oh, so the ship wasn't vented.
Hi. What are you doing here and what's with the suit?
Jane.
Hilarious. Sadist.
All right. Enough.
Well, it gives him some practice for when he really needs to get over to another ship.
With Kaylee. Just be quick about this, people. All right? A few loads each. No need to be greedy.
Where are all the people?
Ship says lifeboat launched more than a week ago. We're gonna assume everyone got off okay. Anyway, we're just here to pick the bones. So you two start in the engine room. Jane, you take the galley.
I wonder what they're.
You had this on wrong.
I mean, I'm surprised he got in the suit himself to begin with.
Family signed on. Lifeboat wouldn't hold a third of that.
I know.
River? Tanara. Are you hungry, sweetie?
Expected that. Where's she going?
Hey, why would anybody abandon their ship in the middle of nowhere like this?
Yeah, true.
For all sorts of reasons. Just
Hey.
not mechanical.
What?
There ain't nothing wrong with this. Not that I can see anyhow. Whew. Well, there's a good one. Hold the bag open.
What are you finding, Jane? Anything good, baby? Is that food? That must be food. Okay. Get the food.
This looks to be it.
Cool visual. They have some really good shots in the show, directorially. Okay, you gonna behave? Does that say? C.
Gen seed, protein, crop supplements. Everything a growing family needs to make a fresh start on a new world. That's about a fortune.
Wow.
Forget the rest, we just take this stuff.
Why did people abandon this?
Sir, even on a lifeboat, You'd think those who escaped would find room for some of this.
Oh!
Nobody escaped.
Sir?
What? How did she...
Nobody.
I'm confused. How did she... Oh my god!
My God.
Jen, no me. Get her out of here. Jane? Jane, drop what you're doing and get to the engine room. I want you to take Kaylee and the doctor off this boat. Don't ask questions.
I guess I... Oh! I guess I stupidly forgot that, both ships were connected. But, still, for River to get over there...
Zoe!
No door was locked, I guess. Okay.
Galley.
Wow.
We heard shooting.
River, what do you...
Follow the voices.
No, don't ever leave the ship. Not ever.
You handle her, will you, son?
Someone's still on board. Alright.
What'd you see?
Jay must have took care of him.
Didn't. Came at me from behind. Big though. Strong.
No. Go.
No one's gonna hurt you. We got lots.
Is that the same guy? Okay.
He's a real beast.
I was gonna say, he didn't seem that big.
It's a wonder you're still alive.
Looked bigger when I couldn't see him.
I wonder how long he'd been living like that.
I know. But he must be real brave to survive like that when nobody else did.
Real hero killing all them people.
What? No, we don't believe that.
We don't have the proof yet.
Cattle. Cattle for the slaughter.
Dope them.
Did they get hit by Reavers?
Just do it.
No resistance.
Tell them why, maybe. I mean,
Open up. See what's inside.
So he'll live then.
Which, to my mind, is unfortunate. Charity be putting a bullet in his brain pan.
Mal.
what does Mel know that others don't right now?
He's saving the suffering.
He knows
No
something
one goes in here. Nothing more we can do for now.
that
Not what
others
he's seen.
don't.
What do you mean?
The ship was hit by Reavers.
Boom! Oh! I was right.
Reavers?
But how does he know specifically?
Mal, how can you know?
Yeah.
He don't. That's how. No way. Wasn't Reavers. Reavers don't leave no survivors.
Strictly speaking, wouldn't say they did.
What are you suggesting?
No matter we took him off that boat, Shepard. It's a place he's gonna live from now on.
Whatever horror he witnessed, whatever acts of barbarism, it was done by men. Nothing more.
Reavers ain't men.
Of course they are. Too long removed from civilization, perhaps. But men.
Reavers might take issue with that philosophy. If they had a philosophy. And they weren't too busy gnawing on your insides. Jane's right. Reavers ain't men. They forgot how to be. They got out to the edge of the galaxy, to that place of nothing, and that's what they became.
Why are we still sitting here? If it was Reavers, shouldn't we be gone?
Work ain't done. Still substantial money value sitting over there.
Oh, I ain't going over there with them bodies. No rutting way.
Wow.
Not if Reavers messed with them.
So,
I'll go.
do Reavers leave something behind, like, biologically?
Bodies, they don't worry me.
I'd like to go with him.
Okay, I guess not.
Maybe see what I can do about
So
putting
is
those folks
Jane
to
just
rest.
being chicken?
Folks already resting pretty good, Shepard. Reavers saw to that.
How we treat our dead is part of what makes us different than those did the slaughtering.
I don't believe this. We're sitting put for a funeral?
Yes, Jane. I ain't saying there's any peace to be had, but on the off chance there is, those folks deserve a little of it.
Just when I think I've got you figured out.
Yeah, like she said last episode, been here for 8 months and doesn't know she'll ever know him.
What is that?
Booby trap. Reavers sometimes leave them for the rescue ship.
That's what
Trigger
that
them latched on.
was.
And when we detach?
Oh.
It blows.
Okay, so
Oh.
we don't detach. We just, I don't know, sit tight until...
What? Reavers come back?
Shit. Oh,
Looks like they
man.
jerry-rigged it with a pressure catch.
You tell me right now, little Kaylee, you really think you can do this?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, Kaylee.
Besides, if I mess up, it's not like you'll be able to yell at me.
Wash his face. Wow, what a predicament. I didn't expect that. I mean, I saw those things latch on when I was complimenting the graphics. Yeah, I'm glad Jane is not a part of this, what this crew is doing. They locked him in there, right? Stop looking at me like that, Frankie. Come on, Kaylee. It's gonna be that easy? Alright. Can't be that easy, right? Something else is gonna happen.
Let's get that merchandise put away.
That was nice. Zoe's hand on Simon's shoulder.
No, don't you say that. It's the Reavers. The Gorham Reavers come back.
Get that stuff stored.
Like it's gonna matter.
Just do it!
So this is the proximity sensor going off again?
Firefly class transport, you are ordered to release control of your helm.
Not
Prepare to
Reavers.
dock and be boarded.
The Alliance! Oh no. Oh no.
Looks like civilization finally caught up with us.
How does that massive thing sneak up on them? How do they get out of this?
Sir, didn't we have a flag on a Firefly a while back?
Check.
Oh, here it is. An alert issued on an unidentified Firefly class believed to be carrying 2 fugitives.
Shit.
Brother and sister.
What are they wanted for?
It's not available. It's classified.
40,000 of these old wrecks in the air, and that's all they give us. Well, I'm not about to have any surprises on a routine check. We run into these two, we shoot first.
What?
Brass can sort it out later.
Alright.
Open the stash, pull out the goods. In about 2 minutes' time, this boat's gonna be crawling with Alliance.
No,
You have to hide River.
we've got to run.
Can't run, they're pulling us in.
If they find us, they'll send River back to that place. To be tortured, I'd never see her again.
Stack everything right here, in plain sight. We don't want it to seem like we got anything to hide. Go run, fetch your sister.
Is there a place she can hide her? Gotta be on this ship. Pretty big ship.
Why, are you gonna put her in plain sight too?
Don't get touchy. Just do as I say.
They
Is that
don't.
why you let us stay? So you could use us as bargaining chips?
You gotta explain it to him.
They're not taking her and you are not giving her to them.
Don't be a fool, son. Do as the man says.
Yeah, put her in plain sight. Put them both in plain sight. You know, lack of suspicion. But like, just make that clear to Simon. I mean, do him a solid. Come on. He's probably scared to death about losing his sister. Now, River just has to like hold it together.
Quite a lot of fuss. If I didn't know better, I'd think we were dangerous.
Is this your vessel?
It is. Bought and paid for. I'm Captain Malcolm Reynolds.
And is this everyone, Captain?
By way of crew, it is. Though in our infirmary, you're gonna find a fellow we rescued off that derelict.
And these items, I take it you rescued them as well.
Shit. I already knew that, but I'm just saying shit again. Okay, he's still in there.
A brother and sister. When I search this vessel, I won't find them, will I?
No children on this boat.
Siblings. Adult siblings.
I mean, I figured they would have been standing there with everyone, but they're not, aren't they?
On every inch of this junker talk.
Junker?
Settle down, Kaylee.
But Captain, did you hear what that purple belly called Serenity?
Shut up.
I was warned not to talk bad about the Serenity in the comments, so I don't want Kaylee on my bad side. I don't want to be on her bad side either. Yeah, I really thought they were going to be standing in plain sight the way Mal said to Simon.
You are a companion.
Get your, get your sister down
for
here.
years on Sinon. It's only in the last year that you've been shipping out with the crew of the Serenity.
It's just Serenity, and that's correct. It's a mutually beneficial business arrangement. I rent the shuttle from Captain Reynolds, which allows me to expand my client base. And the captain finds that having a companion on board opens certain doors that might otherwise be closed to him.
Mm-hmm.
And do you love him?
I don't see how that's relevant.
Oh.
Well, he is your husband.
Good at it.
Yes.
You fought with Captain Reynolds in the war.
Fought with a lot of people in the war.
And your husband.
Fight with him sometimes, too.
Huh. In a different way.
Is there any particular reason you don't wish to discuss your marriage?
Don't see that it's any of your business is all.
Right.
We're very private people.
The legs. Oh, yeah. I definitely have to say it was her legs. You can put that down. Her legs, and right where her legs meet her back. That whole area. That and above it.
Burslers crammed right under every cooling drive so that you strain your primary artery function and you end up having to recycle secondary exhaust through a bypass system just so as you don't end up pumping it through the main atmo feed and asphyxiating the entire crew. Now that's junk.
Is she...
Have you seen what she wears?
Okay.
Forget about it.
Was she criticizing their ship?
These fugitives that we're looking for, the brother and the sister,
They were last seen on Persephone.
That a fact?
Never mind.
They also left port aboard a Firefly-class transport. Just about the same time that you shipped out with Serenity.
Persephone's a big place.
Yes. Yes, it is, and that Firefly isn't.
How many Fireflies are there? Are they somehow out? Oh, man, they're outside. I mean, River has to be freaking out. God. Probably would have got a little further away from the window. Wow, look at the scope of how small Serenity is compared to that Alliance ship. How's River doing? Oh, she's smiling. Oh, she loves it. What is? She just loves being out in the open. He thought she was looking at something else. Aw, that's awesome. I'm glad that was really nice seeing her happy for a change.
So, I figure by now you've been over to the derelict. Seen for yourself.
Yes. Terrible thing.
I'm gonna make a leap here and figure this is your first tour out here on the border.
It's a very loyal crew you have there. A tendency to inspire that quality in people. Sergeant.
It's not Sergeant. Not anymore. War's over.
For some, the war will never be over. I noticed your ship's called Serenity. You were stationed on Hera at the end of the war. Battle of Serenity Valley took place there, if I recall.
You know, I believe you might be right.
Independence suffered a pretty crushing defeat there. Some say that after Serenity, the Browncoats were through, that the war ended in that valley. Seems odd you name your ship after a battle you're on the wrong side of.
Maybe on the losing side. Still not convinced it was the wrong one.
Ooh, nice.
About the only living survivor to our infirmary. Is that what we did?
I'd ask him. Only I'm not sure he'll be able to speak with his tongue split down the middle.
Ooh. He was talking before, so did he...
You and your crew are bound by law. Formal charges will be transmitted to central authority.
She should have
Commander,
known
I'm not
what.
you need to be concerned about right now. Things go the way they are, there's gonna be blood. Get a line in.
I don't get it. I figured, like, he was the only one who could have done that to his tongue. He was... Oh! So...
Reavers.
I'm so...
That is what I said.
Was he faking? He can't fake, like, what his heart does, though.
How many
Like...
times men in my position hear that excuse?
He looked right into the face of it, was made to stare.
It.
The darkness. Kind of darkness you can't even imagine. Blacker than the space it moves through. You call him a survivor, he's not. A man comes up against that kind of will, the only way to deal with it, I suspect, is to become it. He's following the only course left to him. First he'll try to make himself look like one. Cut on himself, desecrate his flesh, and then he'll start acting like one.
Really? Okay, they're back in? Yeah, I guess the search is over.
Let's go again.
Later. Maybe. Captain said once the coast is clear, we should lay low in the shuttle.
Get him out of here. Go to full lockdown. I want guards on the nursery.
It won't matter. You won't find him. I know where he'll go.
Wait, no.
River, it's okay.
Wait. Wait, don't.
Oh, he's here.
Come on.
Oh, man.
Don't.
Listen to River, Simon.
Why would he come back here?
Looking for familiar ground. He's on the hunt. Nobody knows Serenity like I do. I can help you.
Listen to him.
We let him go first.
Okay. Yeah. Deal.
Wait. You want to, Thanks. Now I'll really have the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't asking for a gun. You guys are going to be behind him with guns. Like, take the handcuffs off. Frankie, be quiet, please.
Someone's coming.
Oh no. Oh my god, he is making himself look like that. Alright. Handcuffs are good for something. Nice. Oh. They've detached the Serenity?
Save his Goron life, he still takes the cargo.
You had to. Couldn't let us drop it.
Okay.
Wouldn't be civilized.
Oh, they're blowing up that ship. Like that tainted ship. Reavers. Man, the Reavers sound so bad. I'm going to talk about them in the outro, and here we go. All right. Let's go, Frankie. Let's talk about episode 3, shall we? All right. Episode 3 of Firefly Down. Now, I'm going to start this outro by talking about something general that I've come to realize about sci-fi shows. And it's not true for only sci-fi shows, but maybe why I really like them, especially Battlestar, The Expanse, and Firefly so far. I really like what being on a ship, the confinements of a ship, even if the ship is large, what that does to the crew and the relationship or the relationships those crew members form with each other. On The Expanse, the main four, I love their relationships, and each one seems to have a different flavor of relationship with one other. And Battlestar, I loved Battlestar because there were so many secondary characters. You had your primary handful, but then there was like a swath of secondary characters that didn't feel like secondary characters at the end of the day because they were still prominent in so many instances, and there's so much relationships going on, friendships, this and that. And I'm already getting that flavor with Firefly, especially this episode. And I mentioned how Zoe put her hand on Simon's shoulder, just little things like that, and the relationship between Inara and Mal, and Kaylee and Mal, and whatnot. Obviously, Jane's kind of a little sticking point right there, but that's just kind of what I wanted to say. I mean, I think primarily why we watch like the medium of like television and movies and we or not even that, literature. We love the stories, we love the plots, but I really would argue that it's the characters. Good characters make us love consuming these stories, and of course with the good characters come the relationships they have with others. And I feel like being in space and being confined on a vessel, even if it's big, it's still a confinement and you can't go anywhere else. It really brings out a strong bond in the crew and the people that are on those ships. And that tends to breed good characters, good characterization. All right, let's talk about the episode. So I would say the overarching thing about this episode would be the Reavers, I would say. And maybe people would disagree with me on that because we don't see the Reavers. But I want to talk about them right now. Like, they seem so utterly dark. So much darker than anything I ever would have thought, a 2002 sci-fi show would contain. And especially on, a main network like Fox. And I know in the first episode, what did Zoe say? Like, if they board us, they'll rape us to death, they'll kill us, and they'll wear our skin. And if we're lucky, hopefully in that order. And this episode just brought them up a notch. Now, I know this isn't HBO. And we're not going to be able to see any of the atrocities really on screen that they're describing. So I would like, if that's the case, and it is, I would hope that the show makes the smart decision to never even really kind of come close to showing that and to only leave it on the periphery, that danger on the periphery of the narrative, and it's always looming, and maybe a little close sometimes, but you kind of get away. And I almost don't even want like a great shot of the Reavers. I mean, we got this guy who seems to have like been becoming one, but that's still, I think, not close to what they could show us. So yeah, really liking the threat of the Reavers and whatnot, and how like foreboding like they seem to be. But yeah, so let's see. I guess I'll just talk about what happened in the. I'm still struggling a little bit with these outros because The Expanse was easy. Once again, narrative thread. Let's talk about what happened here. Let's talk about what happened here. Let's talk about what happened here. But since there's only one narrative thread, the crew, the Serenity, or just Serenity, according to Inara, it becomes a little more difficult because it feels like I'm just reciting the plot. But yeah, so they find that other floating ship, and they connect to it, and then there's that the Reaver booby trap, for lack of a better term, that gets attached. And I thought that was going to be a bigger deal, but Kaylee, in her mechanical prowess, is just able to snip. It looks like a hydraulic line or a fluid line or whatever, and bypass it. And it was a cool subversion of expectations where, oh God, the Reavers are back. Proximity alarm is going off again. Reavers are back. But no, it's the Alliance. And I did like just that little insight into how the Alliance works and their inner workings. Like, I like the captain, or the main guy, as a character. And when he said he was asking his protege, what are the siblings on the run for? What did they do? It's like, oh, it's classified. And he's like, oh, they make us go out here, and that's all they give us, you know? So there's like some gripe. And there you can tell there are different tiers of knowledge within the Alliance. So I think that's really cool. And I really thought that when Mal asked Simon to get River down here, I don't know if those are exact words. I think he was basically saying, bring her here. I thought they were going to have them just stand with the rest of the crew, hide in plain sight. I thought that would have been the way to go. But no, they hid outside, and oh my God, River, the look on her face while she was out there just looking at the stars was so heartwarming. I loved it. I loved seeing her happy. I'm always distressed when she's in distress, and I don't know how much more of that I can take. I hope she can get better soon. And once again, like I mentioned in the reaction, I hope we get some more substantial dialogue from her soon. Yeah, I want to see how smart she is. Apparently she's this really genius woman, and I want to get some of that. I want to see some of that. Let's see what else. The scene, not quite a montage scene, but like the scene jumping back and forth with the interrogations of the crew. Zoe, Inara, Jane, Kaylee, all great flavors. The contrast of one to the other. And of course, the best one being Zoe saying that she is, their relationship, her and her husband are very private. And then we jump to Wash saying what he said. I don't have to repeat it here. Oh, that was great. That was amazing. The Expanse has some good interrogation scenes as well. Yeah, so love that one. Let's see. What else do I have to say about this episode? It did seem like a pretty standalone-ish episode, a contained episode, and I'm sure we're going to get those, especially back in 2002. I feel like that was just kind of what people did. And I'm not saying that I expect every episode of Firefly to be like this, like self-contained, and the conflict of the episode is going to be resolved by the end. There are going to be threads that go through and threads that run through, and conflicts that are not resolved at the end of each episode. I'm sure of it. This is just episode 3, and yeah, so like I don't mind that it was like self-contained in a way. Once again, we did get more insight on the Alliance, more insight on the Reavers, and we're building our characters too. Like, just because it's self-contained from a plot standpoint, there's always character growth and character development and character relationship development. So, yeah, I'm loving the show, everyone, so much already, and I'm so glad I'm watching this and that you guys are watching this with me. Thank you all for watching this reaction with me on YouTube. If you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Really helps out the channel so much, especially for such a small channel like mine. Also, please leave a like and leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought, not just of this episode, but of my reaction to it. If you like my reaction style and you want me to keep doing what I'm doing here on YouTube, hitting that subscribe button is, besides joining Patreon, is the best way to do it. So thanks so much, everyone. I will talk to you all and catch you all in the next reaction.